Seed square off in this Big Ten tournament. We get focused on the officials. The netminders in this matchup, both first team all Big Ten, and for very good reason, Mark. They do it in different ways, but they do it extremely well.
You could be looking at two first-team All-American goaltenders here. Big, tasty Caleb Faceoff, close to 300 pounds. Logan McNaney, tons and tons of experience.
Officials, Peter Buchanan, Doug Donovan, Tyler Harriman. We're underway with Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network. This is the Big Ten Men's Lacrosse Tournament Championship game, and Jack McDonald comes up a running for the Terps. Headed towards the cage, this long stick midfielder had it checked out of his cross. 3 against Rutgers in the semifinal win. Gets the Buckeyes on the board as they scrap for the next draw. Jack Oldman out there for Ohio State. A.J. Larkin off the wing, keeping the ball on the ground. And it belongs to the Buckeyes and Johnny Cool.
Once again, flying out of the gates.
McGee with points in 4 of his last 6. It's McGee and Matthews to strike swiftly for the Buckeyes. 2 better than second-seeded Maryland. Shea Keethler on the draw against Jack Oldman. It squirts loose. Oldman flicks that one towards the sideline. We get the whip.
They took that Utah loss very personally, and that really was the best thing that could have ever happened to them.
I'll say they ripped off 11 straight wins and then had that win streak ended by Maryland in Columbus. The Terps put a 13-8 beat down on the Buckeyes, who are looking for a revenge here in this Big Ten championship match.
I had the opportunity to watch Ohio State scrimmage North Carolina in the fall, and you don't take a ton from the fall, but when I watch...
Mitchell Pelkey has more on Gannon Matthews and a wardrobe change.
We just took a look at Gannon Matthews with head athletic trainer Seth Faulkner. Had to switch jerseys because he got banged up by Will Shaw.
To Logan McNaney, he tends to struggle with inverts, and that is a prime example.
In the semifinals against Penn State, Maryland surrendered just a couple of tallies in that 30 minutes. Little different story, as you can tell so far tonight in the first 5. Maryland looking for possession, a chance to stop the bleeding here, and they do come up with it. That's Jonah Carrier, the one of the 2 face-off there in the stands. Finally can get to some bragging, some cheering, as their favorites fell behind into a deep hole right off the jump. Now here's a violation against Oldman that gives Maryland another possession.
That quickness gets him out of harm's way. And 22 in white, Liam White, just punishes the upper 90. Look at the placement, the velocity. Beautiful shot. McNaney continuing to struggle between the pipes for the Terps.
Nick Myers, the scarlet and gray, and the faithful in the stands appreciative of a 6-1 start. This team shoots better than 32% overall in the season and in the tournament. It feels like they're shooting 100 tonight. Just about can't miss.
Their confidence is sky high. After the loss to Maryland, they came back. Last regular season game was here against Michigan. Winner would have been a tournament lacrosse season as well. Look at Matthews. Wow, that's a guy who's going to feel it in the morning.
Matthews, who had the hat trick in the semifinals Thursday. 9 goals in his last 8 outings overall. And earning the praise of his fellow Buckeyes and their head coach. Ohio State with possession here, Cullen Brown. So disruptive, 42 in the white. The Rutgers game on Thursday, Mark, was with the tally against Penn State. He had just 1 assist in the last 5 games before the goal against Penn State. Nighttime skies here over Ann Arbor. Temperatures in the low 50s. Semi-final games were moved up earlier in the day back on Thursday. 5 tallies for Erksa, as you can tell top of the screen. He has goals in all 14. Big face-off duties here. Oldman comes up with it on the ground ball for Ohio State. That's the same Jack Oldman who leads the Big Ten Conference in ground balls in 2025.
That was just unfortunate for Ohio State.
McKenna in his 2nd season with the Buckeyes, a transfer from Fairfield to Nick Myers' program. He now has 112 goals. That's 2nd most among active Big Ten players. Bryce Ford of Maryland's number one. This drive, Karams off of McNaney and off of the post. It'll be backed up to Ohio State.
They keep coming, and you have to love it. Ohio State not taking their foot off the gas, continuing to attack downhill, continuing to play at a very high octane. And the officials took a minute, but it's better to be late and right than early and wrong. So good discipline, good patience by the crew.
Shea Keethler, who's been sharing the face-off duties for Maryland with Jonah Carrier. They still dig for it, and coming up off the wing, as usual, Jack McDonald. John Tillman will tell you he wouldn't trade his wing guys for anyone.
They're
McDonald and Larkin.
They're terrific, Joe. You know, McDonald.
14 games for Maryland and its faithful, roaring their lungs out now here at the University of Michigan Lacrosse Stadium in Ann Arbor. Temperatures hovering in the high 40s, low 50s. No precipitation. All the self on a goal and 2 assists. Spectacular colors in the sky over the grandstand here in Ann Arbor. 9-5 for Ohio State. And it doesn't look like Logan McNaney is seeing it nearly as well as he normally does.
No, he struggled so far here tonight. Made a couple saves in this quarter. And then let's face it, the first couple goals for Ohio State kind of came at him fast and furious. But, you know, McNaney got to be a little bit more consistent. He's going to have to steal a couple.
Had to be opportunistic offensively. At least they turned that around in the second quarter. Beat Caleb Fyock 4 times. It's a 4-goal deficit for the guys in red. Top 2 seeds squaring off in this championship game. Island going right to the cage. Fast break time here. Toss! Stopped by McNaney. A dazzling save one-on-one.
That's gigantic for Logan McNaney. We'll mark that one down, because if Maryland can chip away at this lead, instead of it being 10-5, he just kept this Buckeye offense at bay.
Terps get the offensive touch now as we kickstart this third quarter. Bryce Ford teaming up with Matthew Keegan and Zach Whittier. Whittier just subbing on the field now, first midfield unit for John Tillman and the Terrapins. Urksa, Kelly, and Spanos, the starting attack. Urksa worked over by Fongles in individual games. This is his first career 2-goal performance. Picked a good time for it. It's 10-5 Ohio State. To the face-off dot with Jack Oldman of the Buckeyes in white. Drawing opposite of Jonah Carrier, 28 in the red for Maryland. Off the wing, it comes up for Stamos. George Stamos had a couple of assists in one game against Penn State in the regular season. Gets the game for McKenna, 13 overall on the season. Tallies in 5 of the last 7, going great guns for Ohio State. Maryland gets possession off the draw, and George Stamos will walk it across. Turtle power displayed by Urksa, who prior to tonight, the junior had never had a multi-goal game against Ohio State. That story changes with Urksa's second this evening, nearing the midway mark of the third quarter. Look at McNaney, 40 yards from the goal to get the ground ball. Ohio State now clicking for a dozen, the most goals surrendered by Maryland this season. Griffin Turner had goals in 4 of the first 6 games for the Buckeyes this year. He had no goals in the last 9 prior to tonight. He's clicked for a pair. It's 12-6 Ohio State.
I just love the Ohio State depth of scoring. Again, they don't have a Trey LeClaire or a Logan Schuss.
And he gets his 10th goal there. He has markers in 4 of the last 5. The deficit for the Terps is 5. Keethler comes up with the draw. Shea Keethler and Jonah Carrier this season in the footstep of the Florida native. 3rd different 2-goal game on the season. Earlier ones against Delaware and Virginia. And the Terps come away with the draw. Carrier bounding away from the dot and angling in against Sean Magoto. Magoto, who subs in for just 3 off the pace that was set by Trey Leclerc. Another guy who could bring the house down with an outside shot. Ohio State's Oldman comes up with the draw. Chance for the Buckeyes to put goals back to back. Terps have done extremely well.
No doubt. They have set the measuring stick for Big Ten men's lacrosse. And look, when you look at the post-collegiate these days with respect to the PLL, Team USA, it's mostly Maryland guys. So it's a testament to him and his coaching staff, the job they do.
Carrier getting a second chance. He gunned that one wide after Fayoc beat him. Carrier winning the opening draw of the 4th quarter and going right to the goal.
Yeah, that's what we talked about with Jonah Carrier, the offensive prowess that he possesses. He has the capability to go to the cage.
His win over Ohio State in Columbus. Had 3 goals and an assist in that one. Gets himself on the board, brings Maryland within 4 with 13:50 to go in regulation. Off this scramble, Oldman comes out of the pack. Good kick there, fast break, score! The hat trick for Haas.
We've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Ohio State showing resilience and answering anytime Maryland challenges. Look at Oldman. I love the discipline. Wait, draw the slide. Haas hammers it home. Jack Oldman, sophomore out of Pickering, Ontario. Reminds me of another Ohio State face-off great, Jake Withers, who helped lead this Buckeye team to the 2017 National Championship game. Oldman making it happen at the dot for Ohio State.
Haas has his 4th hat trick of the season. Markers in 9 straight. Another guy who shoots better than 40% all campaign long. Carrier beats Oldman on the ensuing face-off. Logan McCoke with the coaches during the daytime. None of us is expecting 24 goals on the board between these two teams and these two great defenses.
I was thinking more of an 8-7, 9-8 kind of game. You know, Mitchell and I were talking about it before the game. Like, what do we talk about beforehand? And hey, it's going to be a